Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. Now it's real time, sponsored by the Mill Casino.
And big thanks to the Mill Casino for sponsoring our segments here on Outdoor GPS. Today, though, we've got Jason Hamley. I'm sorry for that. I'm kidding. From ProCure here in the studio. We're going to talk eggs, okay? Now, all of you recognize him from Angler West, from all kinds of different shows that are out there. You see him everywhere. How the heck do you do that?
Just part of the job.
I guess so, man. I guess so. I mean, he's always out doing some fun stuff, and usually, you know, he's the boat that's got a fish on, and you're going, what in the heck is he doing? Well, we'll find out a little bit, right? Now, eggs. Now, listen, you're known for a lot of different things. I'm known for a lot of different things. Everybody has a niche, right? One of the things that you're known for is egg fishing.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. You've been doing seminars over at the sportsman shows for years. I believe even before you were with ProCure,
right?
If I remember correctly.
Yep.
So eggs are a thing, right, everyone? There's no question that for Chinook fishing in the right circumstance, right river, and all the things in the right area, I guess, very, very productive. Steelhead, no doubt. I would admit that I don't spend a lot of time with eggs for steelhead these days for a number of different reasons, different baits, different ways that we go after them. But it's certainly something that you have to have in your arsenal, right? We're going to talk about steelhead here in a little bit. But so for Chinook, right now, it looks like, what, you brought in some silver eggs?
Yeah, okay. A couple we picked up yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
These are beautiful, by the way. If we get a shot with that Kershaw Tech Cam, you might get a look at that. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Taking a look at the eggs that you brought in, first thing I would say is that you left too much blood in there.
Yeah.
But that's just me being, I can give him a hard time, everyone. I'm allowed to do that. Yeah. But taking care of your eggs initially, when you first catch the fish, what do you do? When you get that hen into the boat, you know it's a hen, she's got eggs in it. What are you doing to make sure that those eggs are as good as they can be when you do put cure to them?
The best thing you can do is when you first land the fish is, even before you club it, is rip a gill or cut it, and then put it in a bleed bucket or whatever you need to do, put it in your fish box, and just get all that blood out of it. And that's going to draw the blood out of the egg skeins and out of the cavity of the fish. And you'll have a lot better quality meat and better quality eggs.
Is there, we get this question often, I've answered it a number of different ways. Is there a way that you like to make sure, or that you like to bleed your fish the best? Is there a way that you like to do it, or is it just simple cut the gills? I
just cut the gills, and that seems to do a pretty good job.
You set them upside down. Are you a bucket guy?
No, not really. Okay, I put it in the fish box and do it.
Okay. So most important thing, get the blood out of there so that you have the best product that you can have when you do ultimately put whatever cure is that you decide that you want to use. So for instance, let's say that these are going to be used for Chinook fishing. There's a lot of debate, I guess, sometimes with folks that the most difficult egg bite that I have ever experienced personally is on the Willamette River, chasing spring Chinook. They are the pickiest fish. It'll literally drive you insane, okay? Let's say we're curing up eggs for that fishery in particular, okay? It's on the main stem of the Willamette. It's nowhere near the coast, so quite a ways away from saltwater. What kind of cures do you like to use that ProCure offers for an egg that you would be confident in on the Willamette chasing springers?
That's again, every day's different, and that's why it's a good idea to have a variety of different cures. But if I were to start out the morning and I had one cure, me personally, it'd be the fused salmon blend.
Oh, go figure.
But this year we fished this up in the gorge a lot. It wasn't spring Chinook, but it was fall Chinook, and that ultimate egg cure has been very, very productive.
So this is the Keith Amron, or excuse me, Archer. I'm going to get killed by both of them. The ultimate egg cure become very, very popular for a number of different reasons. Archer's cure has been famous long before that he was commercially making the stuff. So does it just really fall down to having multiple different flavors in that particular fishery? Do you do anything different to your eggs once they're cured up? And do you like to use some of these additives that ProCure has available when you're, chasing those fish around in that situation?
Yeah, the Monster Bite. This has got some bite stimulants in it, and this has also got a little bit of metabisulfite in it, which is a very good additive, and it helps to kind of heat up the eggs.
Okay, so more of a hot egg. You're saying something that was a sweeter egg is a cold egg. Okay, just for everyone's instance, more salt to it, the hotter it is. That kind of sodium kind of thing is where you get that quote unquote hot egg. And I guess maybe that's another question too. Let's say that let's switch gears a little bit. rather than all the way up in the spring. You know, right now, as we speak, there's probably somebody along the coast somewhere. Well, maybe not, because the rivers are popped right now. But chasing fall Chinook right out of the saltwater.
Right.
Is there something that you might do different there when you start out with your just base cure, a sweeter cure, a hot cure? What do you like?
A lot of guys they'll heat them up down there too, and other guys will add just sugary type contents to kind of sweeten them up a little bit.
Like what?
Like Caro syrup or anything like that.
Okay.
Or just sugar, brown sugar, just anything like that. Some guys will do that, and that'll kind of change it up a little, or even scents. Some of the sweeter smelling scents like anise, or you can put some vanilla. Anything like that can change the outcome. So.
And which would take the egg from being maybe not necessarily a hot egg, but take it to, you know, a sweeter egg.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Straight sugar, just like sugar right out of the jar.
Yeah, just granulated sugar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or brown sugar or maple syrup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're going to think this is crazy. It's not. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Think about using toothpaste on a plug. That by itself should barbecue your brain, but we're not talking about that. By the way, it works really, really well. Okay. So if you're going to make an egg for along the coast, maybe start it out sweet in the cure?
Yeah. What I would do is just have a couple different cures, like our Last Supper coastal formula. Have your fuse, have an ultimate egg cure, take all three, and just start out with the more subtle approach, like the Last Supper.
Okay.
Something a little milder, and then if that's not happening, then just pick it up.
Now this is all stuff that you can do on the fly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Let's say you're out on a coastal river. It's now. Let's say it was today. And you've got your standard cure. My favorite cure is right here. It's the liquid cure from ProCure. I remember the day that Steve brought this in before it ever hit the shelves. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Are you serious? Turns out it's my favorite egg. It's the easiest cure to use.
It's idiot proof.
It is idiot, and that's me. And I've admitted it here on the air 1,000 times, okay? Don't let the idiot on the other side of the TV screen, remember that quote that I got out there? This stuff just takes that concern out. Just get it over your eggs, make sure that they're submerged, and call it good. And then from there, it's experience, right? Taking your time on how long you're going to let it sit in there, how long you're going to air dry it. So there's a number of different things. So let's just say you have a cure that's based with the liquid cure. You're on a coastal river. It's November, and you want to heat it up. Okay, maybe you've got, I would call this a sweet cure right out of the bottle.
Right.
Is that correct?
The
liquid cure.
Yes. That one's a low sulfite. If you wanted to heat it up, there's a couple different options. You can add a couple ounces of sodium sulfite, or you can also add a couple tablespoons of metabisulfite.
Okay.
Which will even heat it up more.
And then you just sprinkle it up on top and just kind of let it soak in?
You can do that, or you can, if you want to dedicate the whole bottle to it, you can mix it in the bottle, or you can sprinkle it on the cure while you're curing it, or on the eggs, but do it while you're adding the powders, because then you can kind of mix it up and get it to cure into it.
So when you're on the water,
if you're going to do if you're on the water, just sprinkle it on the eggs and let them sit for a little bit.
Okay, that
just so they absorb in.
So if you were out there and you're in that situation, like I want to change these things up, it's not like you got to stop fishing,
right?
But just get some the sodium bisulfite or something else that's on there, metabisulfite, or what Monster Bite. Give it a few minutes or to let it soak in.
Yep.
Okay, you don't have to just stop and wait for everything to happen.
No.
Okay.
No. You can put it on there, just give it a couple seconds, and it'll absorb in pretty quick.
Okay, let's say that you're one of those folks that doesn't carry all these supplements around, because quite honestly, it can get extensive. You can have one container, this literally to additives, just something that you're going to add to your eggs or whatever it is that you're fishing. If it's herring, anchovies, I mean, sand shrimp, for crying out loud, you can add those things to pretty much everything. But with eggs, if you were to start out with, I've got one cure, it's just right out of the bottle. I've got another cure, it's just, done correctly. Remember, all of these cures have a little bit, and correct me where I'm wrong here, they all have a little bit different of a way to cure them up, at least a little bit different of a process. They're not all exactly the same.
Yeah, if you want to do it right,
Correct.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, do it right.
Yeah.
Okay? Follow the directions on the bottles, on all of the products from ProCure, because, again, they are a little bit different. Last Supper, very different.
Oh, yeah.
The Red Hot Double Stuff, which is my all-time favorite go-to egg, drives me insane because it's a little bit more of a process to getting it cured up correctly. Just follow the directions.
Yeah, like on the ultimate egg cure here, that's a 12-day process to do it right. And also that if you don't
back up.
Yeah.
12-day?
Yeah.
Keith, what the heck are you doing to us, man? Really, 12 days. Okay,
yeah. So read the directions. If you're not into reading directions, watch his YouTube video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And some of your videos. I mean, you guys have videos too, right?
Oh yeah.
Through Angler West and through other sources, there's a number of different ways that you can follow along. But follow the directions, okay? By all means. So if somebody were to do that, they take them right out of here. I don't want to deal with additives. I'm not going to mess with sprinkling this and sprinkling out on there, which don't do that, by the way, but there are folks that are that way. Is that one of the reasons why I have found over the years along the coast at least, and pretty much everywhere, because I do a lot of my eggs, if not all of them with this, at least to start out with, it being a little bit sweeter along the coast, I noticed right away that I was having success there.
Right.
Is that a thing, or am I just overthinking it?
No, it's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it is a sweeter cure.
Oh yeah.
It's right out of the bottle. Yep. But there's a number. I don't even know if you know the answer to this. How many different versions of egg cures do you guys produce at ProCure?
Oh, probably... Gosh, 20, 25?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, certainly something that if you get a few cures, and this is the time of year that a lot of you got eggs that you're going to be curing up, right? So you got to have the cures to do different things. And when we come back from this break with Jason, I want to talk specifically about steelhead. Okay, now I get this question a lot, and I know that Jason does as well. Steelhead, you know, they're a different animal than a Chinook. They feed differently. Different things make them react and key in on baits. So we'll find out how he likes to change those baits up a little bit. I like making my steelhead eggs where I could bounce them off the ground. I mean, so everybody's a little bit different on that. So bear with us. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with Jason from ProCure.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Chevy Silverado and the impressive Turbo Max engine. Flex your muscle with the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. Official truck of Outdoor GPS.